Morning, guys. Kurt from Time Machine Transport and Mr. Clyde. Say right turn, Clyde. I had a subscriber ask me why do I say right turn, Clyde? It's because, well, I don't know if you guys know the movie with Clint Eastwood. I'm an old guy, so it was called Any Which Way But Loose, I think. Anyways, he had an orangutan. Is it orangutan or orangutan or orangutan? Anyways, I'll call it orangutan. Anyways, in the movie, the orangutan's name is Clyde, and Clint Eastwood a couple times said right turn, Clyde, and he would throw a punch through the passenger side window. Anyways, so that's why I say right turn, Clyde. So, to the point of the video, I'm going to call this video, you need to run out and get your vaccination right away. We'll see what YouTube says about that, because they almost took down my channel for a microchip video I did. So they said it was misinformation, but I read it, all my stuff from a Google search. So, and Google and YouTube being the same company now. Anyways, now I'm just going back into ranting again, or complaining. I don't like complaining, so. Anyways, just heading on over to my brother's place this morning. Delta Dennis, today or yesterday was his birthday. Happy birthday. Just going on over there. He knows literally nothing about a house, so I'm gonna work on his place today with him. So anyway, still waiting on the head for my truck. I had to buy a new head. Long story, I'll do a video on it. But today's video is about the Terrell Buckley. And if you don't know what the Terrell Buckley is, on this channel we call the jab, or the roll up your sleever. We call it the
text message from Tom Truck Country.
Oh, my parts are probably in from Freightliner finally. Thank goodness. Anyways, we call it the Terrell Buckley because Terrell Buckley used to play for the Green Bay Packers. He was a defensive player, and he used to call himself the Vaccinator, giving y'all a shot. So we call it the Terrell Buckley. And especially now with YouTube, I don't know. And it's not like, a buddy of mine said, oh, you know what? If they threaten to take down your channel for something that you read off of Google, you might be hitting something on the head. So who knows? But so today, let's talk about. So last week I texted a bunch of people and told them, I said, this whole executive order thing with our great president, POTUS, president of the United System, signed that executive order to tell companies with 100 people or more that they must mandate the Terrell Buckley. Well, that piece of garbage, Jennifer Psaki, I think that's her first name, Jennifer Psaki, the press secretary for our great White House, she's a piece of garbage, just a pathological liar. So, what you doing, Bubba? Look at this dude, he's got me right up on top of the dead. You gonna drive the truck, put it on autopilot? Daddy needs to do a video. So, anyways, a reporter had asked her, well, can you force these companies to do this? And she's like, yes, we can. So details are to come. And like I said, this is not going anywhere. Donald Trump, which I don't believe he's our savior. You guys know and if this is the first time you're clicking on one of my videos, you can go into my banking and mandates video, and you can hear my theory or my speculation on why they put Donald Trump in office. Mark Twain once said, if voting made a difference, they wouldn't let us do it. Mark Twain. Look it up. If voting made a difference, they wouldn't allow us to do it. Go figure that one. Okay, so I gotta... hold on 1 second. Sorry. I gotta put you guys on pause. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. Sorry. So I had to turn on my defrosters. The truck was getting a little humid, a little moist. That's a funny word. So, anyways, so because Donald Trump named it Operation, dude, get your butt out of my face, man. Because Donald Trump I'm sorry. Donald Trump named it Operation Warp Speed. But come on, man, dude, you're so nosy. I believe that's how fast they're going to push it on us, is in warp speed. And I'll touch on that a little bit if you don't want to go and watch my mandates and banking video. But anyway, so back to what I texted a week ago or so. When POTUS signed that executive order, no, stop it, man. Stop that. Dude, you're fucking up my feng shui this morning, man. Sorry. Trying to dig. Hey, stop digging into my damn seat, man. That leather costs money. So, you little mental case. So sorry about that. So with that in mind, I texted out a bunch of people and said, "Can you believe this garbage?" Not the executive order, but that. And I'm sure some of you have heard this, but maybe some of you have not, or maybe not all of you guys have heard this. So POTUS mandated, pretty much, or executive ordered these and a lot. Here's another thing. I know I'm jumping around a little bit. I didn't realize this until the whole COVID relief came out, and all these, they were giving these large colleges, $1 million checks for this whole relief fund, all this stuff. People are like, are you kidding me? How are these large colleges getting this money? Well, once the colleges found out that people were hearing about this, they were forfeiting the money. They were giving it back. Well, the Los Angeles Lakers, believe it or not, got a check for like $5 million. And people are like, the Los Angeles Lakers, they're not a small business, because they were saying they were, giving this relief fund to small businesses. A lot of people don't know this. The relief fund, or the relief fund, these small businesses. Hi, man, dude, you are just annoying this morning, man. He's a daddy's boy. So, a lot of people don't know this, but any company with 500 employees or less this truck was right in my way. Dude, you can't make a right turn on a red arrow. So anyways, sorry guys, I'm all just fucked up this morning. Excuse my French. Parlez-vous français? No, I don't. So Clyde, man, come on, dude, here, you gotta go on that seat, man. Come on, you're gonna cause Daddy to get into an accident. That's not cool on video yet. So here, Daddy, put down your window there. Is that okay for you? Stop it now. Sorry. So a lot of people don't know this, that any company with 500 employees or less is considered a small business in the United States of America. So POTUS signing the executive order on companies with 100 employees or less, or more, I'm sorry. People are like, well, that's small business. Well, no, at 500, that's small business. So anyways, but then he went and said that the postal workers, and you can look this up, the postal workers are exempt. Yeah, the postal workers are exempt. Excuse my missing tooth. This is the first time looking at one of my videos. I just got fitted for braces, and I'm very conscientious about my tooth missing. So, they exempted the postal workers, and I believe there's like 600,000 or 700,000, might even be more, postal workers around the United States of America. Now that's very interesting in itself, because they mandated all federal employees and contractors to get the jab, right, the Terrell Buckley, but not the postal workers that touch all this nasty contaminated mail and who have a lot of people-to-people contact. So you would think like, that's not very cool, or that just doesn't make sense. Well, they have to exempt the postal workers, in my mind, is because The other contractors aren't as many as the postal workers. And I'll get to the reason why I believe this. So they say that 80% of the United States has the Terrell Buckley. I don't believe those numbers are even close. I think it's like 20%, maybe a little more. And people are like, well, why would they lie to us? Well, because this is supposed to save your life, right? Well, they have to lie to us because if you believe that 80% of your family, if you believe 80% of your friends, if you believe 80% of your coworkers, 80% of your neighbors, so on and so on, if you believe that 80% of anything got anything, you would social conform more than likely and say, well, 80% of the people got it. It can't be that bad. There's not 80% of the population that died off. Okay, you can believe that. I don't believe those numbers at all. That's why they have to lie to us. Now, so if you exempt the postal workers, so if you don't, and they kick back at you, which a lot of Americans are, and I'll get to my wife's situation at a large hospital entity or conglomerate, because hospitals are just money machines at the end of the day, like insurance companies. It's like legally laundering money, man. It's crazy. So, now if you mandate the postal workers, they kick back, and you have 600,000 or 700,000 postal workers, and close to 80% of them kick back and say, hell no, I'm not doing this. Now, the American people will be able to see that a lot more people are not on board with this than what they're telling us. And people are like, well, how would you know that? Because a lot of your mail wouldn't be getting delivered. Now, if you're a federal employee, say you're a U.S. Marshal or an FBI agent or whatever the case may be, right? You're a chef at the White House, whatever the case is. I'm sure you're still considered a federal employee. The American public's not going to see, if the White House chef isn't cooking meals. So, sorry for the shaking. Man, Kenosha is, I got a big 4x4 and 2500 Dodge, and it doesn't ride the best on regular roads because of the suspension. Anyways, so I apologize for the shaking, and I can't rest my other arm on my armrest because someone's sitting on it. So now, if you, like I said, so back to the point, Kurt. They had to exempt the postal workers because we, the American people, you, I, us, would see, well, holy shit, man, their numbers can't be true. So that would be the first inkling or the first visible answer, because if your mail's not getting delivered, you're going to be like, what the heck's going on? And then you're going to say, oh, well, they exempted, or they didn't, the postal workers, if they hadn't been exempted, well, they're not delivering the mail. I mean, a lot of mail's going backed up. So now they're going to have to, the U.S. needs its postal system, right? You need it. I mean, that's seems very apparent. So they have to exempt the postal workers, because if they don't, we, the American people, will see that they kick back just like a lot of other people are kicking back. And that's why they're not going to stop with this. They are in it to win it. I truly believe it's about population reduction, and so do a lot of our friends and family. And they, if it truly is about population reduction, you can't have population reduction without complete power and control. You just can't. And our government is in it to win it. Like I said, at the end of the day, they are in it to win it. They are not going to stop at this. So they're slowly but surely mandating this and mandating that. And that's just what's happening. Oh shit, is this 3? Yeah. So That's why they have it mandated to the postal workers. And the same thing at my wife's hospital. So on my last video I did, I believe I mentioned that a large conglomerate, it's a large entity she works for. And my wife's been an RN for many years. She worked ICU and dialysis. Now she's in cardiology. So now her hospital mandated this. So September 20th, all the staff, employees of the entire hospital system, and I was wrong on my last video that all hospitals in Wisconsin mandated. No, that's not true. So, but a lot of them did. A lot of them did in ours. So, the hospital, being that Wisconsin is one of 44 states that have 2 exemptions. You have philosophical exemption and religious exemption. So the hospital said, well, you know, we're not, there were many, I mean, a lot of people that were denied exemptions for these 2 employees' rights for Wisconsin. This is on Wisconsin's website, that's your employee right, that an employer cannot fire you or resist this or resist that. I mean, they can. Darn it. Oh, sorry. Darn it. Sorry. So now, they can fire you. I mean, they could fire you for whatever they want. It's their business. However, you could take legal course and take them to court or whatever, and you probably win in the state of Wisconsin. But it's going to take a while. So they can, like I said, they can, but they're not supposed to fire you for your religious or philosophical reasons. So now the hospital mandated it as of the 20th of September 20th for your first one, and then December, I think, for your second one. Now, oh no, I didn't. Oh shit, yes I did. I think I left my water bottle on the side of my truck and I think it fell off. Anyways, so now with that in mind, so there were many people. So I guess at one campus, my wife's at the South Campus, and there was rumors from a good source in human resources that said they're only gonna okay 200 exemptions. But at the other campus, North, they had 2,000 exemptions they were gonna do. So I don't know what the difference was, or if that's even true. But because there were all these employees of this large conglomerate, this money machine, they were kicking back and saying, nope, we're not doing it. We'd rather lose our jobs. So, good for them. The hospital shelved it and said, we're gonna come back to this at a later date. So they shelved it and they said, okay, we're gonna just come back. You don't need to have it right now, because they realized they're gonna lose a large percentage of their staff. And there's already a nursing shortage. So they realized we're gonna be in a lot of trouble. So now, back during the whole worst pandemic on the planet, right? The smokescreen, they furloughed half of my wife's office, the nurses. And her and another nurse had to carry the workload, and she was very stressed or whatever the case is. Hi, baby girl, I love you. So now they were very stressed during that time. So the hospital probably furloughed, and I don't know this, but from my wife's numbers in her clinic, they furloughed half the staff, or half the nurses. So, and the hospital was okay with that. But now, if they would have had all these or not as many exemptions as we're speculating, they would have been okay with reducing the staff to 50%. on this exemption thing and been like, well, good luck, but we're not going to keep you employed. And the hospital said you had to resign, which that's not true. So my wife said, I'm not resigning. I'm going to go back into work on the 21st because she's not getting it. And she said, I'm going to go back into work on the 21st. They'll have to carry me out with security. So anyways, let's go back to the furlough thing. So the hospital is okay with furloughing half the staff. And because they knew they don't care, they're a money machine. They don't care. They're not dealing with the stress. The medical assistants, the assistant, the MAs, the medical assistants, and the nurses, but the doctors, they weren't furloughed. They were still carrying the regular workload. So you furlough the RNs for safety reasons, right? But you don't furlough half the doctors to meet the staff with the amount of patients you're going to have. How much sense does that make? Nope, doesn't matter. We're saving the money on the MAs and the nurses. And I don't even think I think maybe some of the MAs were furloughed, or maybe not. But you don't furlough half the doctors. If it's about safety, because it's the worst pandemic on the planet, life-threatening, right? With a 1% fatality rate, you furlough half the nurses for safety concerns, but you don't the doctors. So you're getting just as many patients in, and you have the same amount of doctors, but you don't have the same amount of RNs. That absolutely makes no sense whatsoever. And people are, oh yeah, man, they did it for safety. No, they didn't. They did it to save a buck. My point being is this: because they received so many more exemptions than they thought, they shelved the whole idea and said, no, we're gonna shelve this for now and come back to it at a later date. So if they were cool with furloughing 50% of the nurses, that tells you how many nurses were not on board with the Terrell Buckley. Way more than 50%. So is it 80% of the country does not have the Terrell Buckley? So there, and like I said, if you're 80% of your neighbors, 80% of your family, 80% of your coworkers, 80% of your neighbors, so on and so on and so on, if they got it 80%, well, shit, I might as well get it if they're all still alive, right? Mm-hmm. So I think the numbers are reversed. I think 20% of the country's gotten it and 80% has not. But it's coming to a bank near you, guaranteed. They're not stopping at this. Operation Warp Speed, remember? It's going to come at you at warp speed. So now, that's on the wife thing, that's on the postal thing, the postal worker thing. So do some clear thinking up here, man. Do some clear thinking. So why would they be pushing so hard at 80%? At 80% compliance. So 80% of the American people have complied for this? I don't think so. Not even close. Like I said, I think it's reversed. I think 20% has. Now, I was watching on Vice News the other day, and they had how Spanish Americans are not taking this because they see their fellow Mexicans or Spanish people or whatever the case is dying. So they had these, and they had subtitles because a lot of them weren't speaking English or just speaking Spanish. So, which I'm okay with. Hey, I agree. If you want to come to this great country, I do not like our government, but I love this country. You want to come to the greatest country in the world, America? I'm for you, man. I truly am. But don't expect us to pay your way. You got to make your own living, and you got to pay your taxes. I'm okay with that. Why wouldn't you want to come here? It's the best country in the world. So anyways, so they had these people going door to door, and basically, essentially they're drug pushers. You know, what's that song by Ice-T? I'm your mother, I'm your father, I'm the nigga in the alley. I'm your pusher, baby. So anyways, they're basically drug pushers, right? They're Terrell Buckley pushers. They're death pushers at the end of the day. And they're going door to door, and they're telling these people, they're like, well, why haven't you gotten it? Or they're like, have you gotten it? They're like, no, I'm still thinking about it. And they're like, well, why haven't you gotten it? And they're like, well, because of all the death and all this other stuff. And they're like, well, oh shit, someone's going to jail. Oh no, he just broke down. Got a couple cop cars there. So anyways, yeah, so they're telling, well, I just got it today and I'm okay. I truly believe that this is like an epoxy. So if you don't know what epoxy is, you need it's a two-part system. You need a hardener and a whatever the other one is. And one by itself does nothing. The other one by itself does nothing. But the two together make a hardener. I truly believe that this Terrell Buckley is like an epoxy system. Or people are like, well, you know, and this is another thing. So obviously they're making it public the amount of deaths from this pandemic, right? This worst case scenario with a 1% fatality rate. And if you don't know about tuberculosis, you should check it out, because a person dies around the world every 22 seconds from tuberculosis, but not from this, 1% fatality rate. So tuberculosis has a 15% fatality rate. Look it up. So anyways, lost my train of thought here. So if you're, damn it, I hate when I do that, man. I don't know if it's age or excitement or just dumbassedness. I don't know. But if they're pushing this on the people, whatever the case is. Oh, so back to the epoxy thing. Okay. So, or is it, we're going to give the first one, and those of you who are just illy prepared physically with your medical whatever, and your immune system. Oh, this is another thing. So I told my wife to go see an immunologist, because if you are forced to take this from your work, you need to go to an immunologist, and they will do blood work on you, and they will tell you that, hey, if you've had it, your immune system's already built up, so your immune system's better than this Terrell Buckley. So if you haven't seen an immunologist, go see one if you're being pressed to take it. Now, back to the point. So, or if it's not an epoxy system where you take the one and then you take a second, a third, or a fourth, and then all four together will kill you. Or is it they give you the first one, and that's the big, that's the little one or whatever. And if you have a weak immune system, or whatever the case is, if you have a weak immune system, then you will pass away from it, okay? Now, they're saying, well, that's the weakest one, so we don't want those people to be around because they'll be a burden to our system, right? And then they'll give a second one, and then if your immune system doesn't meet up to that one, then all of a sudden you're like, well, that one didn't work either because they have a weak immune system. And then they just keep giving this thing and knocking off the population. And I truly believe it is about population reduction. And the reason why I say this is, if you don't know about how the planet works, so there is stop whining. We're going to go play with your cousins in a second. Hold on. Boy, he's excited when he comes to my brother's house because he loves playing with his puppy dogs. So now, if you stop. I know, relax, man. Stop. We're going to go and play in a second. We're going to go for a walk, okay? So now, let me roll down this window, man. He's going to go ape shit. Sorry. So now, if you don't know about the way that the groundwater works, so if it poured raining tomorrow or today or next week, it takes 100 years to filter through the ground to reach the groundwater. Well, if you're looking around the country, so my brother-in-law, Tim Unruh, used to play for the Milwaukee Brewers. Hey brother, what's going on? And they do a charity golf outing every year in Kansas. Well, this farmer came and he's like, hey, you guys want to take a tour of my farm? And they were like, yeah, sure. So I think this was last year or the year before. Or it might have been this year. I don't know. So anyways, he told me this when he was just at our place a few weeks ago. And he said, yeah, when they were going on this tour with this farmer, The farmer said, yeah, we depend, and I guess this place in Kansas grows a shit ton of food, and the farmer's like, yeah, we depend a lot on the groundwater, or that's solely where we get our water from, and it's depleted, it is getting close to being depleted. It's either depleted or very close to being depleted, and they have to get the water from a large lake. I think it was in Canada, I think he said. Anyways, so that's pretty scary in itself. Now, if you're paying attention around the world, start looking at how the groundwater, especially in the Phoenix, Arizona area, where the groundwater's getting depleted or close. Lake Mead is like 50 feet below where it's supposed to be. The Colorado River, so on and so on and so on. So, a person can go 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. So we need water as a necessity, obviously, to survive. If it is, and I truly believe it's about population reduction, but if it is, you have to ask yourself, why is it? Well, if it truly is, and it is water-based, or the reason for the water, then we're pretty doomed, right? But if it's about Planet X or whatever the case is, my brother Jason, what's up, brother? How you doing? He always calls it Planet Nabubu. So if it is about this or whatever, it is. You have to ask yourself, why? For a 1% fatality rate, why are they pushing it and doing this? And there's a reason for it. They just didn't wake up yesterday, and this has been planned for quite some time. Don't tell me that it was during Trump. No, and like I said, Trump is not our savior. He was placed there to get the Christians to come aboard with this Terrell Buckley. Is my true belief, and I explain it in mandates and banking. And like I said, it's coming to your bank. You control the food, you control the people, you control the money, you control the people. And like I said, they can't have what they're planning on without complete power and control. So anyways, I'm at my brother's house, and we're going to walk the dogs, and we're going to work on. He knows nothing about houses, so we're going to replace some vents on the side and do some caulking and stuff like that. So anyways, I just wanted to come on here. If you guys don't know about this whole mandating or exempting the postal workers and so on and so on, you guys should look it up, man. Do your due diligence and start asking yourself logical questions, man. Like, why? If you're not asking yourself why, and you're just rolling up your sleeve, you're an idiot. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but you're an idiot. And if you, I'm not. But again, I'm an idiot for saying that, because that's your right, and as it should be my right to get it or not get it, or wear a mask or not wear a mask, right? That's my choice at the end of the day. So it's your choice to do, my body, my choice, right? It's funny how the left said that about abortions, but yet they're not saying it about the Terrell Buckley. No, you need, and I know people would be watching this being like, yeah, but, an abortion is not, risking other people's lives. Come on, man. Neither is this. And like I'm in the category where I should be dead already. I'm fat. But I eat very healthy. I drink a lot. I don't drink a lot of soda. If I do, it's a diet soda here and there, but not every day, not every week, whatever the case. I drink a shit ton of water. I take my vitamin C, my vitamin D, my elderberry, and my monolaurin. I take the things that I'm supposed to take. Now, yeah, I'm overweight, whatever, but I have a very, very slow metabolism. Like, I got the slowest metabolism on the planet, I swear. So anyways, so I'm in the percentile that should be dead already, 6 feet under. I'm overweight. I smoke, not a pack a day, or probably a pack every 2 or 3 days. I eat very healthy, but I'm overweight. I'm 52, and I should be dead according to their stats, but I'm not. And I travel coast to coast. I go in truck stops, some of the filthiest places on the planet, but yet I'm still. And my wife and I think we have gotten it, because we did lose taste and smell and felt like crap for a few days and so on and so on. But that builds your immune system, right? So anyways, so I'm done talking, and but just do your due diligence, man, and start. Like I said, don't believe these numbers. There's no way. A little thin up on the top, Kurt. So there's no way these numbers are correct. No way. No. Anyways, I hope this video truly finds you well. I hope you found this information, or this content, informational. And please like and subscribe to the channel. Ciao.